Well, we just finished the event in Thailand where we went to meet Shifu Luo. I brought 10 of my students, a little bit from everywhere, US and Russia and other countries. I brought them to meet Shifu Luo. And this trip was organized by Shifu Costantino Valente, as always. And I like to extend that opportunity to my students. Somehow I think I am a silly guy because many people do things differently in terms of introducing their teacher to them. They try to keep them secret somehow. But I'm very happy actually to give my students the possibility of meeting Shifu Costantino Valente. And in this case also extending the opportunity that he created by organizing this trip to my students to meet his teacher, so Shifu Luo. And last year we went and we met also Shifu Jo, which by the way, these have been my first times that I've met these two teachers. Last year for the first time I met Shifu Jo, this year for the first time I met Shifu Luo. Not because I think it's not useful, but because I personally thought since the beginning that I started to practice qigong, that what really impacts my life is to do the daily work, not to go somewhere else and meeting somebody who's going to do the work for me, which is something that sometimes people advertise out there. Today's students just go and visit them, they will do the work for you, you pay X amount of money, it doesn't work in that way. So since the beginning I had that kind of approach towards the practice and I still keep it. So it was great to meet Shifu Luo. I think he was a nice person. Some of my students were more or less happy because Chinese people, the Chinese culture is different than the Western culture, so things don't always follow what it has been promised and the structure of, let's say, the original agreements, but it's just the way it is. And that's why sometimes when some people write me that they want to learn straight from Shifu Jo or Shifu Luo, I say to them, you better stay here because everything is more organized and actually even cheaper. But not only that, I want to clarify this if it is one of these, if it is one of the first videos you're seeing about qigong and what we do. Actually, Shifu Luo and Shifu Jo are not part of the qigong Fu school. They are my teacher's teacher, and my teacher has a form of respect and affection that it has rightfully towards his teacher. He organizes this trip once in a while, sometimes once a year. And I, as I said, I invite my students as part of the qigong Fu school, because I am an instructor of the school. I open this possibility up to them. But these teachers, they don't actually belong to the qigong Fu school in one sense. Their practices, they are found in the qigong advanced programs, and one of them even in the basic programs, in the same way that they were given to my teacher, to Shifu Costantino Valente, in the same way he received them. But in terms of being part of the school in this way, it's not the case. Shifu Costantino Valente created the qigong Fu school, and there are a bunch of instructors, authorized instructors like myself. I mainly focus on worldwide, English-speaking people from everywhere, basically. That's the kind of area that I'm covering. So what I would like to say is that it was amazing to meet my student. As I said, there were 10 students coming, and there was 12 actually were supposed to be there. Some of them couldn't make it due to personal reasons. But it was great to meet my students in presence. Some of them, they were surprised by well, the person I am, maybe because during the basic programs that I do online, sometimes maybe I'm perceived as a little bit not cold, but serious, which is something that I have also. I think I can be many things depending on the occasion. And that seriousness, of course, is due to the fact that we just don't know each other, and the world is full of crazy people. You don't imagine what kind of people, especially when you have an online activity, such mine, which is, is growing and everything. So you have to be careful the way you move. But some of them, they were pleasantly surprised that, you know, we could laugh together, make jokes, and get to know each other. So it's great to be together. And this is probably, I think, one of the most valuable thing, at least for me, but also some of my students confirmed to me that out of this trip, the best thing was actually to stay together and to spend some quality time, also where we touched on other topics, which I think are very vital for the energy practitioners. In particular, I'm referring to the fact that the energy practice alone doesn't lead anywhere. At least it has great potential, but can either be for the good or the bad. And we can see out there how these things are being shared, advertised. So what I like to do and what I created recently, it's just for my students, so please be careful about this. Starting from this month, we're gonna have 2 meetings per month on Sunday. It's called Student Circle. This is something that I really hope everybody, if you're one of my students, really I don't expect, because, you know, everybody should be free to do whatever they want, but at least to join for 1 meeting, just to understand what it is about. Because, as I said, energy alone is not a bulletproof strategy or way to correct self-development. It can actually go in the opposite direction. It can make us even worse. So in those kind of meetings, we will touch on other things that are relevant to the practice, and that unfortunately this kind of practice don't have anymore, because the way they've been passed on has lost somehow the context. There is no philosophical, I don't want to say guidelines, but philosophical themes, conducts, human conducts involved into this anymore. It's just a product, you know. You want to learn energy practice, you pay X amount of money, you go somewhere, done. You know, it's like we buy any product. You know, we live in a very strange world right now. But if these practices are paired together with some kind of knowledge and a deep desire of growing as human being beyond just doing a chi demonstration or anything like this, I haven't found anything more valuable than this. That's why I'm creating these Sunday meetings, which hopefully will be successful, considering the amount of students I have. We should have not 1 screen. I don't know how many screens we will need, you know, even if a small percentage will decide to attend. So this is the reason why I'm trying to help and strengthen also the connection that we all have together, because this is a lonely path. It's okay, it's the nature of the practice, it's an internal practice, but it's good to make friends, not to talk about energy nonsense. You know, for the energy nonsense you ask to your teacher that has a little bit more experience than others, but to create a group. So this is my will, you know, to connect these people worldwide, to talk about topics that are relevant about life and philosophy contexts, and how they imply they are vital for the energy practice to reach a high level, especially to explore the most subtle aspect of the vital energy, so-called spiritual energy. We have to be a certain kind of human being, and that kind of qualities they also needed to do, even if you're interested in just doing a fachi without any kind of external help. So the human being should be developed in all aspect, in the less dense aspect, in the more dense aspect. So all these elements should be there, even if we just want to go on this practical goal of achieving this kind of mastery over vital energy. So they all have to be there. So please, if you haven't done it, go to Patreon /qigong Jiaoshi Andrea.com, something like this. You will find the links probably below this video or somewhere else. And if you're one of my students, join these meetings at least for the first time, so that we start to get a feel of this, and hopefully we can create a community of practitioners which is a group oriented rather than a competitive gathering of people. I don't know if you see what I'm trying to say here, but thanks. I hope that I'll see you the second Sunday of October for the first time, and have a good day.